So Chris McCaffrey went to Germany. Christian McCaffrey went to Germany.
What did he do there?
He got like platelets.
Oh, Oktoberfest. What a time to go.
Kind of irresponsible when he's in the middle of an injury and like his team's playing. Like, what are we doing here? Jeff Miller, whatever. Mueller. He's a doctor of physical therapy.
9 times.
Specializes in football injuries. He writes the following, and thanks to whoever Tristan. Thank you, loyal listener Tristan, for sending this to me. It's a really good find. It's okay. It's a good find. Chris McCaffrey going to Germany. Keys you need to know on tendon injuries and impacts of injections. So here's the bullet points, Jason Ross. Tendon injuries don't heal quickly or well on their own due to poor blood supply, especially if there are micro tears or degeneration. One key issue with tendon injuries is poor collagen production and disorganization, leading to mechanical issues of the healing tendon. PRP injections can provide a high concentration of growth factor-filled platelets that can stimulate collagen production and improve organization of the collagen production, leading to improved mechanical properties. Without help, your body often finds itself in a perpetual inflamed state that continues to get irritated when you load the tendon. My guess is, it's the doctor talking, this is where CMC found himself with growing frustration. He's flying to Germany because they have the ability to produce a higher concentrated PRP, which should accelerate healing. By the way, why is Germany able to, is it like the elevation? Why can Germany do it, not us?
Good question.
Okay. I don't like it when Germany can do things other countries can't do. That doesn't usually work out well.
We probably can here. It's just way more expensive than
yes.
the trip to Germany.
There's probably a regulation or something. I got you. Okay. With these injections, some athletes, okay, this is the important part, everybody. With these injections, some athletes have been able to return within 6 weeks of the injections, even though remodeling is still occurring through up to 12 months. The injection should allow for quicker and improved collagen production, blah, 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 load and tension, it's not without risk, but return has been very possible. That's why I'm not viewing CMC flying to Germany as a bad thing. He's seeking an accelerated healing rate. Best chance of that is in Germany, not the U.S. And I do believe this gives him a shot to return, no pun intended, after the 49ers week 9 bye in the week 10 to 12 range. That really does depend on how the tendon responds to this treatment, but many of the outcomes have been very good with a particular spike improvement close to 2 months, which would be week 12 if he's getting treatment. I like that he puts this in at the end, though. One variable that's very important is that a lot of studies discuss strictly PRP injections for everyone, not just elite athletes. So the hope is that Christian McCaffrey is in the top percentile for recovery with this treatment in Germany. And I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how it works. But the first thing I think of is, well, obviously he's an athlete. Blah, blah, blah. But then the other thing is like, well, because he's an elite athlete that plays football, does that mean his tendon is worse off than yours or mine would probably be because of all the wear and tear throughout the year? So I don't know how that evens out. But Jason, I read that and I was like, oh, God, he might come back after the bye. Maybe.
That doesn't sound good.
Javon Hargrave was playing patty cake at the offensive line, and people were wondering where was the effort. Well, it turns out the effort was he had a torn triceps, and he's out for the year. Not that he was, banging it down. I will say this, knowing John Lynch, look, he never wanted an injury, and I hope Javon comes back. Javon Hargrave comes back full strength. That being said, that actually might end up being a good thing because that might kick John Lynch in the nuts enough to go out and get somebody that can come in. And, if there's one thing John Lynch has shown he has an affinity for and a talent at, it's midseason acquisitions. Yeah. And there obviously something needs to pump up on that defense. And generally 4 to 6 games in the season, the whole we could win it all this year turns into reality of, wow, we suck. And some of those teams that suck, they're trying to load up on a few things.
Yeah, and they're not that team. They know that they still have a championship type of team. They're regardless of if McCaffrey's back, Kittle, all those other guys. They got to get better at run defense. Like they've been giving up the run too much, I would say, late last year and then into this year. So whether it's different scheme, different personnel, or adding people, that might be something they're looking at.
Dre Greenlaw is said to be hopefully back mid-season.
Okay.
And no idea why this just kind of came in like a turd in the punch bowl. But Adam Schefter reporting yesterday on top of everything. Oh, and Brock Purdy is now day-to-day with back soreness. What is this back soreness? How did he suffer it? This, that, whatever. I don't know. But there you go.
And of all of them, it's almost like that's the one that I saw just via social media, like that really bothered people a lot. Because one, it's your quarterback.
Yeah.
Two, I don't think any of us really saw it when it happened. I mean, he played through the game and looked fine.
Right.
Actually, I thought he looked really good on Sunday in the loss. But it's back. We know the issues that can lead to. And it's your quarterback, the most important position.
And also, it's one of those. I think a lot of it, too. I mean, it would be a freak out no matter what. But on top of everything else, it's like, oh, punch. Oh, and here's a kick.
Yeah.
Well, let me drink hold on. Let me stir this up here. This is, for those of you watching on YouTube, this is my mug of what I like to call copium. This is me coping with things in the most optimistic of ways.
Okay. Ready? Supercharged?
All right. So Christian McCaffrey set to come back, we hope, after the bye. Dre Greenlaw will come back right around the midpoint of the season. That's right around the bye. I'm sure the Brock Purdy thing is just probably a bruise. He'll be fine. They'll probably go out and make a trade for acquire some sort of defensive person thinger. Brandon Ayuk's only going to get better with time, as Matt Barrow said yesterday. Should be starting around next week against the Patriots. Debo's going to return. That doesn't seem to be a long-term thing. So maybe what's going on, the Niners just have to survive, be maybe a game or two above 500 come week 9, come the bye week. And then they load up and everybody starts coming back. And right around week 10, week 11, they get to full strength, except everybody, they don't have the wear and tear from all season. Everybody's good to go. And they are peaking going into the playoffs. And we're looking back at all this and going, ha, ha. Remember when we were worried?
That's a good batch of copium.
I will say this. I mean, it's certainly not likely that all of that happens. And it is 100% copium. But there, it's semi-realistic copium, like just in the sense that it does seem like McCaffrey's going to return this year.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like Brock Purdy's going to have some sort of extended injury. Debo will return. I can't imagine Brandon Ayuk sucks forever. Dre Greenlaw is going to return. The only thing I'm really reaching on a lot is Lynch making an acquisition, but actually I think that will happen.
Yeah.
Now whether that all works out and translates into W's, I can't tell you. But Jason. Here's the other issue is that they've got a schedule problem because after they play the Patriots, then they host the upstart. Can I say upstart Arizona Cardinals?
Sure.
I mean, look, they're not the best, but the Arizona Cardinals sitting at 1-2, lost by 7 to the Lions and lost by 6 in Buffalo.
Yeah.
They throttled the Rams, who just beat the 49ers. And, that whole Kyler to Harrison thing seems pretty good.
Yeah. And what's funny about it is, I mean, this is a classic example of what a difference a win versus a loss makes.
Mm-hmm.
So game 1, I think we'd all agree how sharp, how impressive they looked against the Jets.
Uh-huh.
Game 2 is not a good game in Minnesota. There were elements of the game on Sunday, like the way it began. It was like, man, they have all these guys out and they look great.
They look great.
And here's Jennings, like they've found a new guy. And again, they left the Rams in it, but at the end, any other thing played differently. Not a big punt return. Moody makes the kick. They're 2-1.
They are.
With all these injuries, but they're not. But it's so funny how fragile it can swing. And so when you lose, you're 1-2. All this news piles on. You're like, man, are they going to make the playoffs with all these injuries? From hey, this might be the team to beat in the NFC, even with all this stuff going on, to I'm really worried about it. It can be that fragile. It can turn that quickly.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
after the bye, they have the bye after the Cowboys. They go Cardinals at Seahawks, home Chiefs, home Cowboys. After the bye, at the Bucks. So remember last year, this is actually kind of strange. Remember last year, they lost 3 in a row going into the bye, and they went to Jacksonville. Now they go into the bye, they go to Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's home Seahawks, at Packers, at Bills, home Bears, home Rams, at Dolphins, home Lions, at Cardinals. If they're full strength, that is one of those things where they could just power through.
Yeah.
And end up winning 8 of 9, 9 in a row, 7 of 9. But again, I think playing that game is very, very, very dangerous. We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness. There was a premiere last night in Hollywood.